Everybody in life goes through shit. Like it's what's guaranteed in life. It's guaranteed in life that you're gonna have a lot of down times. You're also gonna have a lot of good times, but you are gonna have some downs. And sometimes the downs are gonna be worse than the good, and sometimes the good outweighs the bad. But the result of your life is fully determined on how you handle your bad situations. If you're one to crawl up in a ball, cry, and just think, why is this happening to me? Or just you expect sympathy from other people. I mean, some people give it to you, but sympathy isn't worth anything. If somebody's going through something, you're like, oh, I feel bad for you, but at the end of the day, they're still going through what they're going through. So the only way to get out of that bad situation is to evaluate the situation and come up with the best plan on how to get back and overcome it. So, like myself, we've been through pain. Everybody has pain. Some people have lost people. Some people got their heart broken. Some people have been through a lot of physical pain that causes mental pain. Mental pain. And this pain is a part of life. The good wouldn't be as good without the bad, because you have something to compare it to. But with that pain, instead of, and I'm not saying be heartless. Of course, at first you gotta feel it. You gotta feel how it's making you feel. You gotta let your emotions be your emotions. Don't try to block them with something else. Like, I'm not saying cry in front of everybody, but when you're by yourself, bro, it's okay to be sad. It's okay not to be okay. Let the shit out. Do whatever you do to let it out. You need to expel that type of energy. But at the end of the day, you have to use that pain as fuel to go further, to get better. You have to use your pain as fuel to get better. And it's hard. It's not easy, bro. Like, you're gonna think about it a lot. But you gotta really try and transform those bad thoughts and that bad energy into positive energy and positive thoughts. And also, like, I know pain sticks with you, but sometimes you gotta know when to let certain things go. And then, cause you can't dwell on the past for your whole life. Like, at some point you need to let it go. You ain't gotta let it go. You can just let it be what it is. Let it be what it is. Accept it for what it is. Don't try to change it. Don't try to think of ways to, like, revamp it. Like, it's just, if it's meant to be, it'll come back. Like, I always say this: if it's real, it'll reveal itself. But at the same time, you can't dwell on it. You gotta use it to solidify your future in a good way, of course. And when you do release that energy, when you do just get it down pat of how to use this to do something good, then you gotta notice. You gotta be a realist. You gotta know, okay, I know I'm not perfect. I know I can work on how I act. I know I can work on what I say. I know I can work on what I do. I know I can. You gotta take accountability for everything, because no matter what people do to you, like, you can get your heart broken, like, damn, that person really, like, they really did me wrong. Like, they really, like, fucked me over. But you can't blame them. It takes two to tango. I'm not gonna dumb it down to just that, but you can learn from the situation of how you can get better too. It's not always somebody else's fault. You gotta take accountability. That's the first step. You gotta look in the mirror and know what to work on. You gotta know what to let go, and you gotta know what to work on. And once you like come to the point where you know you're just not perfect, like you're gonna make mistakes. That's how you become better. That's how you become great. You just keep making mistakes. The more you fail and the more you keep trying, the more you're gonna win. Because you can fail 80 times, bro. It only take one win. It only take one win, bro, to get where you want to be. But then you gotta keep it going. Like, you can't stop. Like, you can't just sit there and be like, okay, I did it. Nah, you gotta keep going until you know when it's time to stop. Like, that, for me, it's till I'm in the grave, man. I'm gonna keep going, but it's like you gotta know when to stop. And when you forget, you gotta forgive yourself. Like, you gotta forgive yourself for your wrongs, for your problems, for your issues. Like, you gotta forgive yourself for that type of shit, because you're not like you're a work in progress. We're all work in progress. There's people that are 50 years old that are still working on shit they've been working on. Like, it's just, you're always gonna be working on yourself till the day you die. It's just what it is. You can always get better. You can always learn more. You can always become a better person. You can always do, like, it's just so much more to do. There's so much more to do. And with that, you just gotta appreciate the past for teaching you what to do. Because when you appreciate your past, you appreciate your mistakes, you appreciate that one bad relationship, you learn from it. You know, okay, I'm seeing this. If I see it now, I know what it is. Like, or I'm not gonna do this. I'm not gonna overstep my boundary here. I'm not gonna excuse me, but you learn from your past self, and you gotta appreciate it. Because if you didn't go through it, you wouldn't learn. You would have been making the same dumb mistakes. And some people do make the same dumb. Some people go through and then keep making the same dumbass mistake. I get it. It's like you're stuck in your ways. Like, everybody has a way, and sometimes people get stuck in them. But the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. Now, if you're insane, that's another story. But most people aren't. So you gotta see something. You gotta see it for what it is, not for what you want it to be, and really just appreciate all the wrong that was done. So now you know what's right. Now you know what to do. Now you know how to act. Now you know how to move. Like, it's just all about learning. Like, you can always learn more. You learn more about people. I learn about people every day. I learn something new about people every day, bro. Like, there's so many different types of people. Like, you can just learn from them. And then you'll start to see patterns, and you start seeing the other people, you know what to stay away from. Like, you start creating red flags and shit. That's like, that shit, it matters. Cause, like, I've seen this before. I've heard this song before. I'm not trying to go through this shit again. So, appreciate your past self. And once you do that, like, cause pain is gonna be with you forever. It is. Like, the only thing that heals it is time, and it doesn't even fully heal it ever, for real. But you gotta use that pain as fuel, or you gotta connect your pain to your purpose. Cause you know what you've been through, and you gotta find a way to express it. Cause if you just bottle up those type of emotions, it's gonna really eat you alive. Like, in your head and your heart is really gonna eat you alive. So I'm not saying you gotta talk about it, but you just gotta find a way to express it. And that's relative. It depends what you want to do with your life. But when you have a purpose, or when you have a goal you want to reach, don't forget about the shit you've been through. Don't forget about it. I'm just saying, learn from it, and then use that to really give you, like, fuel for your purpose. Like, so your purpose will never end. Cause like I can remember when I went through this, and times I needed this. Now I can be there for somebody else and make it easier for somebody else. It's all about making it easy for people. That like that's how it is in business. That's how it is in emotions, relationships, friendships. It's all about just making it easy for somebody else. If you make it easy for somebody else, they're either gonna, in relationships, they're gonna appreciate it. For businesses, they're gonna keep coming back because you keep making this shit easy for me. Like, who doesn't like it? Some people like. I mean, there's difficult stuff, but like, for making something easier for somebody to go through or easier for somebody to do, it's just always gonna spread positivity, and it'll make everybody better. Like, make it easy for everybody, bro. So yeah, it's pretty much use your path as a teacher. Use your past as a teacher. And it's always important to stay in the present moment because that's the only thing that's happening right now. You can only worry about what's happening right now. You can't change the past, and you can't control the future. So stay in the present moment, because whatever you do in this present moment will dictate your future. So be in the present so you can prepare for your future.